All right. So because of Gifty's question, we want to record, and then if it becomes necessary to upload for the benefit of others, we will upload. Gifty is asking whether the way critical thinking has been presented to us so far, or with all the interesting bits of it, would one say that one becomes an automatic, like an investigator of a kind, because it opens your mind, the discipline opens your mind, it gives you some good skills that should have made you a good investigator. Maybe investigator might still be a profession that you must polish up to become. You must polish up your natural skills to become an investigator. But the truth is, it gives you a certain posture. You are not gullible. A critical thinker is not gullible at all. Gullibility means you just accept things wholesale. You are always, you don't look into things, claims, beliefs, assumptions, presuppositions. You just carry them along without really pausing for a minute and asking, what if? Could it? Should it? So a critical thinker is a very good material for what? Investigative, inclined discipline. Police, lawyer, a marketer, a policymaker, a mother, an evangelist. You see, that's why it is topic neutral. If you look at the introductory letter, it's neutral to the topic. Every discipline you are involved in, you will be made better at it if you have some inkling into what critical thinkers do or project. You see that? And that is why it's not surprising the university considers it part. You say you are a degree holder in the University of Ghana. You should have had some exposure of the kind to critical thinking and its skills that it develops, open-mindedness, objectivity, the skill of analyzing, break things down. If you understand definitions, you should know what it means to speak to and make an impact in the lives of people, to convince persuasively with what reasons, not with emotions, not with a diversion of attention to what plenty people say, for example. So if plenty people say it, so what? So does that in itself make it right or wrong? Can't we have the reason why? So, so it is refreshing, and it makes you a better person, quote and unquote, than if you are just there. This person comes from here, and those people, they are this. Hey, this person believes in so and so religion, and so it's this. What kind of interrogation has gone into? So not just investigative skills, but a good home, a good society, a very active, vibrant, productive industry will depend on seasoned reasoning. That, I think, critical thinking helps to improve. We all think, but we all don't reason all the time. And even when we do, we all don't reason well all the time. So that is what the discipline seeks to polish up in us. Okay, I want to take any other question if there is, please.
Madam, I think, hey, Dr. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I watched the recorded video on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then I saw this types of sentences, the interrogative and the imperative.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you
so
my questions on that.
Come again, please.
I'm going to set my questions on that for you to answer and get your grades.
Oh, okay. That means you have to learn it.
Yes, everything there should be learned. Go ahead. Go ahead with your question.
Okay, so the interrogative looks like asking for information from someone.
Yeah.
And the imperative is like commanding someone to do something. But then maybe a situation whereby you put down one sentence, but it has an interrogative, and it has both interrogative and imperative aspects.
Yes. That's when your critical thinking begins. When I say, could you call Gifty for me? Could you direct me to Gifty's house? If you were standing at the junction, I saw her, I said, Could you direct me to Gifty's house? That will come with a question mark. But is it a question? A genuine question? What do you think? What's my intention? If I met you and I say, could you show me where they are selling the handout?
Okay, so I can say yes. I can direct you.
Yeah, you didn't read my intention well. Gifty, yeah, you didn't read my intention well. Would you close the door, please? Listen to what I'm saying. Would you close the door for me, please? Will you stand there and say, yes, I would? You see that? You will just close the door. I'm just telling you, close the door, but I'm speaking it softly, politely, respectfully. You see? So I am asking you, but the intention is for you to do. So this is not a genuine question, merely seeking for information from you. This is an imperative. I am telling you to do something, but I'm telling it politely. And that is where logic, or if you like, critical thinking, can be distinguished from a mere, examination of English language. So that expression will come with a question mark. And we know that it is questions that have a question mark. But this is not a genuine question. On the surface of it, it is a question. That's explicitly it's a question. But implicitly, it is not a question. It's an imperative. So I can ask you, this expression could be both A and B. Then the options could be A, both imperative and interrogative. B, this expression is only imperative. C, this expression is only interrogative. D, none of the above. And the expression in question is what? Could you call the class rep for me, please? Your answer cannot be what? Imperative only. It's wrong. It cannot be interrogative only. That is also wrong. This expression could be interrogative and it could be what? Imperative. How do you know that? Because it comes as a question. So because it has a question mark. Yet the implication, it has an implied meaning. It wants you to do. So those are the things that I've elaborated on over there, my dear Gifty. And I need you to access that information alongside your textbook. Study the textbook. That is your reference point. You should be able to change a question into a declarative. You should be able to distinguish the three types of declaratives and be able to give an example of one. And to be able to tell, when I use a value judgment, you should be able to tell. When I use a metaphor, a metaphorical statement, you should be able to tell what that metaphor is intended to do. Is it a value judgment? Is it an instruction? If I say, the hen also knows when the sun rises, like it is the cock that crows. The hen, mother hen, also knows when the sun rises, like it is the cock that crows. Am I stating just a fact? No. It's not just a fact. I am passing a judgment. I'm telling a certain woman sitting somewhere that you should bring your arrogant self down when you are dealing with your husband. Because the hen also knows when the sun rises. It is the cock that crows. So don't shout too much at home like that. And don't be all over the place bossy like that. That is an instruction. I'm telling her what to do and what not to do. But I spoke it metaphorically. I did it, or idiomatically, if you like, proverbially, symbolically. I didn't use language literally. And that same expression could be rather reprimanding the man. I could rather be, what's another word for reprimand? Rebuking the man. That my brother, get up and be active at home. Because even the hen knows when the sun rises. But it is you, the cock, you must crow. You must be loud. Take charge of the home. Even if the woman has all the money and has all the clout and, whatever, you must be the man at home. Take the burden off the lady's shoulder. She's struggling. She's suffering. Can't you see that? See how that same expression changed and shifted meaning? Because I'm not using the language word literally. I am being symbolic, idiomatic, proverbial, metaphorical. So what? So the critical thinker opens that out to see, per the context, what that expression could be referring to. That is why on the lecture, or in the lecture, one of the slides, I tell you that metaphorical statements are treated with special. You don't interpret them like you would do if you were dealing with the ordinary statements and sentences that reflect. So listen to the lecture and learn it alongside the textbook, because I may put some content like Dauda Dramani is a liar. When I say Dauda Dramani is a liar, yes, sir. I've seen your name. I'm giving you facts. And I say Dauda Dramani is a liar. I'm not telling you that he has 4 legs. I'm speaking figuratively, figure of speech. I'm comparing something. So you now have to tease it out. Could it be that Madame is saying he's fierce? What about lions? Is Madame using to relate to Dauda Dramani? Okay. I say our lecture is a gem. Am I a meta? I am not. Gifty is a flower. Is Gifty sitting in the garden over there for me to go and pluck? No. So these are all symbolic language. My wife is a pig. Then you go and say, they said, hey, your husband is insulting you, Sam. Go and see what they are saying about you. Could I be saying she's snoring now? Could I be saying she's putting on? Could I be saying she's dirty? These are all not positive so far. But think about it. If I say she's now a glutton, she's eating left, right, center, perhaps it's good news. I said it in the video. Because maybe she lost appetite, she's pregnant, she's not eating, and everybody is sad. So when the doctor, the brother comes back to the hospital, say, Doctor, right now my wife is a pig. Perhaps he means now she's eating left, right, center, everything. And so it's good news rather. How do you interpret that? This is a metaphorical statement. It could be passing judgment, it could be reprimanding, it could be instructing, it could be all those. So you have to now tease them out. And that is what you shouldn't, take for granted. My dear Gifty. Okay, so let's take the other questions. I see, let me take Dramani. My brother Dramani, please go ahead. Just unmute your microphone and go ahead.
Okay, Madam, for sentence fragment and value judgment,
yes.
Can you rephrase sentence fragment?
What is a sentence fragment before you ask your question?
A sentence fragment is an incomplete sentence.
Mm-hmm. Then a value judgment is what, please? I'm listening. Value judgment is what?
Can I help him?
Go ahead. Thank you very much. Go ahead, please. Go ahead and help me.
Like prescribing how something. So I said the value judgment is like you prescribe how something must be done. That's the value judgment.
No. So the expression has terms like good. It has value terms. Good, bad, wrong. You should not do this. You should have done that. It is wrong to. This is evil. This is corrupt.
Yes.
When you have such expressions, my brother, you see that all these expressions are stating. They are making a statement. They are saying something that can be true or false. That means they have a truth value. So as they are stating, what they are stating contains some value terms. It is that which makes it a value judgment. So the value may be positive or negative. Okay. Now ask your question, Dauda.
So, Madam, I was saying value judgment.
Call me Doc, eh? My brother, call me Doc, okay?
Oh, Doc.
Madam, ma'am, mommy, sir, sister, sweetie. I get that a lot. And for long, someone will go and quote it and say,
Doc.
Okay, mommy, give me a minute. Let me tell you my plight. I'm a posh sister, I know. So sometimes it's tough for me, eh? Before long, he will be told that you and your student cry. I say, you know, where you get it. So you keep it dog for me, okay? Sweetie, I didn't can come later. I better continue.
Okay, Doc.
Hey,
Yes.
I was
continue now,
asking
bro.
value judgment and sentence fragment.
Yeah.
Can we replace sentence fragment as value judgment?
How can they be so? One is even incomplete. Sentence fragment is an incomplete sentence. It's incomplete. You see, today is Friday. That is complete. It is a statement. So it is an assertion. So it's a proposition. Please, do you have the textbook, my dear friend?
No, Doc.
Hey, if you don't do that, I beg you. This is to the whole class.
Doc, I'm here for that.
No, if you don't do
Yeah,
that.
Doc.
Yes.
Talking about sentence fragment, I want to ask something. You see, I was
Those whose
thinking
hands up,
for what I was
permit me, I'll get you all in. Don't get frustrated. I'll get everyone to speak. Give to go ahead.
relax for us. Okay, so I was thinking that a sentence fragment, sometimes it can be a response to a question someone has already asked you. So let's say I sell wigs, and then I ask you that when are you going to wear with hair? And then you'll be like, when I get to level 400.
Uh-huh.
When I get 400. So I think it can be a response to.
Yes, but that's fine. But to make it even easier for you, when a sentence, because a response could also be a question. I could respond with a question. I could respond with an imperative. I could respond with another statement. If you say, when will you wear wigs? And I tell you, shut up. You see, the shut up is not a fragment. Shut up is an imperative. I'm telling you to do something. Shut up. Who is your mother? Or which of them, who came first, for example? Suppose there's a queue that who came first? I want to serve you, but who came first? Someone can respond by saying, don't you know who came first? Or better still, why are you asking us who came first? You see, so if we use the response to determine which expression is sentence fragment or not, we'll have a problem. Because some responses may not be fragment, may be imperatives, may be interrogative, etc. So how do you do the distinction? A sentence fragment simply is what? A sentence which is incomplete. It's a fragment, it's a part of it, not the complete. That's all. An imperative is a sentence which is what? Instructing you. It is asking you to do something. It is telling you to do something. So when I say stand up, imperative. Sit down, imperative. Do not touch the wall, imperative. Pass me the checkbook, imperative. Could you pass me the checkbook? Imperative, which could also be interrogative. You see that? Could be interrogative because it still has a question mark. So you may think of it as an interrogative because of how it presents itself. But in reality, implicit, impliedly, it is an imperative. Then which other one? Then the statement. As for statement, it is complete. It is a complete expression that can be true or false. Today is Friday. It's a statement. Today is Tuesday. It's still a statement. The first one is factually false. Because today, the first one I said, today is Friday. So it is factually true. The second one, where I said today is Tuesday, is factually false, but it is still a statement. What makes it a statement? The expression has the ability to be true or false. You can respond true or false to it. If I say, where is your mother? Will you say true or false? No. So it is not a statement. It is not a declarative. Another name for statement is, all these things, I've said them already. If I keep repeating them, you have several videos to listen to, and the content is the same thing. It is a new thing that I want to help you clarify, or the extra elaboration you want that I'm focusing on. So I need you to listen to the lecture. Then you can tell. There's no way you want to find out whether a sentence fragment can be a value judgment. It means you haven't read at all. You can score 0 in critical thinking. I've had some people who came to sit here, don't want to it seems as if you are demoralizing people or discouraging them. But you can do critical thinking 3 years, every year doing it, and because of that, you can't graduate. We don't want that. So when I advise you, I want you to keep it. I'm a nice person. I try to be accessible. I'm a nice person is a value judgment. Can you see why? Because I use the word nice. It depends on who is observing. You know, someone will say nice, and I want to change. If you are nice, give us A. That's how the person defines nice. So I try to be nice. I try to be a lot of things to a lot of people. But you won't pass the course just because Mr. Miles is nice. No. You work and earn your grade so that you work in confidence, knowing that you can critically examine matters, even at your level. Okay. So I'm advising you, I've been teaching this since 2012 or 2013. So when I'm telling you something, if not for anything at all, at least for the experience of it, when I say since 2013, as a full course of the University of Ghana, that's with me. But as a student and a TA and a whatever, it goes even beyond that. So there's a wealth of experience that comes to bear when I'm presenting this to you. Engage the textbook. Love the textbook. I tell my students, treat it as your teddy bear. And you love teddies. If you're a religious, spiritual person, treat it like your Bible. I hope you are treating your Bible well. So when you finish your morning devotion or what have you, then you take your critical thinking and read topic 1 in the textbook. Then you listen to the lecture to help enlighten that content. Then bring your questions. Don't pile it up. You won't get the time to answer. And without passing critical thinking or academic or the UGRC, you can't graduate, even if you got A's in all your departmental. This one can keep you 3 years. The lady was crying. Others will come. They passed it, but you got a very bad pass. And now it adds towards your final. First, it was just take it and pass, but we don't compute it. And now it is computed. So if you go and get D in critical thinking, well, you have passed it. But this D, what will you do to your transcript in your final class? Okay, I think I've spoken at length. So I need you to have a certain posture. Study the textbook. Engage the videos that are presented for your lectures. Then bring your questions. The discussion times will throw more light on it. I will upload those also. Engage them. Guided by your course outline. Before long, you have gotten some A that you don't know how you got it. Then you are done with this critical thing. You won't come back to it, just like academic writing. Then you focus on your department. Otherwise, every year you are coming. Writing long essays, still you are doing critical thinking. By level 400, still critical thinking. And you can't graduate. And supplementary research. You are still not passing. We don't want that. Okay. Let me take Kelvin Kwanzaa, then I'll come to Maud. Go ahead, Kelvin. Sir.
Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, sir.
Please, my question is on the lecture 2.
Go ahead.
About the types of discourse.
Go ahead, sir.
About the rhetorical polemics.
Yes, very good. You've gone ahead. You saw the slides I posted there. Did you look at the slides? I said yes. Very good. I said very good. You've gone ahead.
Okay.
And it's very good. This one, I haven't done a video on it yet, but the slides are at resources. So well done. Go ahead.
Okay. It was explained that it's a passage that communicates feeling or persuasively events an opinion.
And I see where you are going to. You want to know the distinction between that and emotive expression?
Yes, please.
Experience. You see that I've entered your brain. Emotive expression is one. Oh, what a day, with an exclamation. Ah, what is that? With an exclamation. These are emotive expressions. When I put them together into a discourse, it becomes a passage, several of them put together, not just one linguistic expression like that. When I put them together, it becomes a rhetorical polemic. What kind of government is this? Who at all voted these people into power? One day God will punish them. 3 expressions put together to form a passage, a collection of them. 1 line, 2 line, 3 lines. And it is all my emotions at play, venting strong feelings across. Then we call it a rhetorical polemic. That's the difference.
Okay, Doug.
Welcome.
And please, my last question.
It can be your last. If you have 1,000 of them, bring it. We still have time. Go ahead.
Okay. My question is about distinguishing between verbal dispute and substantive disagreement.
Good.
And about the verbal dispute, you said this occurs when disputants seem to disagree because using same words inconsistently. And substantive disagreement is when this disputant disagree because each side subscribes to constructing values or has in view different facts. So please, I want you to further elaborate on it.
Very good question. You are reading, and I like people like that. You stretch us to do extra work. So see, suppose, was it Kelvin?
Yes, please.
Okay, so Nancy and Kelvin are engaging in a discourse. Discourse means interaction, official, so to speak. Then I tell you, Maud is not a nurse because she doesn't have a certificate. Then you tell me, no, I think she's a nurse because she takes care of her patients. And I'm saying, no, but I don't think she's really a nurse because she doesn't have a certificate. Even if she's taking care of her patient, she doesn't have a certificate. But you are saying, oh, but even though she doesn't have a certificate, she's doing what she should do. She's taking care of her patient. Now you can see that we are disagreeing on what it means to be really a nurse. She wears her nurse uniform and goes to work and comes back all the time. But our challenge, this discussion we are having between myself and Kelvin would be, is she really a nurse? Kelvin says, I've forgotten who took which position, but Kelvin says, she's a nurse because she takes care of her patients. Nancy says, she's not really a nurse because she does not have a certificate. This disagreement is not about fact, where we can observe. Because even though you are showing me her certificate, I think that, no, she's not a nurse. Even though she has a certificate, me, I don't think this is what a nurse should be. Look at the word should. A nurse goes beyond having a certificate. So you are showing me an empirical evidence that should help me support your position. I am looking at it, but I think that is not what a nurse really should be. So we are disagreeing not about the facts, which observation tells us. We are disagreeing about what our values are, what we think should, a prescription should, what we think should. So I think a nurse should take care of a patient. You think a nurse should have a certificate, that's all. This is a substantive disagreement. Agreement is about what? Substance. We may never be able to resolve it. Why? Because it is about value judgment, how each one of us views the issue, not what is there. We are all looking into the Bible, but when I read, for example, I'm seeing that it is wrong to, I don't know the example, to eat, or let's use to eat fish or pork. Let's use that. I'm looking into the same Bible, but I think it is wrong to eat pork. You shouldn't eat pork. Another person looks in and says, maybe I see that we should eat pork because they say everything has been sanctified. The other person says, but God said the things that have not been sanctified should not be eaten, and he mentions pork there. So it is no longer about, if you like, let's look into the Bible. We are seeing different versions of what we think should be the case. The prescription, before we saw, we already had a viewpoint. That it's a substantive disagreement. But look at this one. If I say, I am eating a mango, then you say, no, what you are eating is not a mango. It is a fruit. I say, oh, what I'm eating is a mango. You say, no, it's not a mango. It is a fruit. Then mango, fruit, mango, fruit. Kelvin, when you come there, what will you say to the two of us? So this time it is more than Nancy engaging. I am eating a mango. Mom says it's not mango, it's fruit. It's not mango, it's fruit. Then Kelvin comes there. I want to know what you say, Kelvin. Right.
Madam, as for this one, I'll say it's a substantive disagreement because
no, it's not substantive. We are not disagreeing on substance. It's not about values. What is it about? You don't give it a label yet. How will you resolve it? If you come and I'm telling Maud that it is mango, sorry, it is mango, then Maud says, no, it's not mango, it's a fruit. What will you tell us? Can you solve this simply? You tell me. How will you solve it? So you won't be able to solve our disagreement. You will let me fight and scratch.
No.
When I'm eating mango, and Maud says, what you are eating is not mango. What you are eating is a fruit. I want to know how you react so that I use that to explain verbal disagreement.
Madam, I'll use.
What will you
I'll settle it according.
Yes, go ahead.
I'll settle it according to what I see, how I see
what?
it.
You tell us. You have come. I said it is a mango. I'm eating mango. Then Maud says it's not mango, it's a fruit. Of course, I'm eating the mango, but Maud says it's not mango, it's a fruit. What will you tell Maud? I see several hands. I don't know.
That it's a.
Go ahead.
I'll say it's a mango. So far as I see it as a mango.
Yeah. So the thing is, I think the point I'm trying to let you see is that if you told Maud that Maud, but mangoes are also fruit. You see, mango is just a type of fruit. So if Nancy says she's eating mango, and you agree that what she's eating is a fruit, then you two are not really disagreeing after all. They're saying the same thing. Because a mango is also a fruit. So the one who says it is a mango, the one who says it is a fruit are both saying the same thing. So it is not a real disagreement. It is not a substance-based disagreement. There's no substance in it. We are just playing language. Look at, if I said, back to our earlier debate, Maud is a nurse. Then Calvin tells me, no, she's not a nurse. She's a health worker. Nurse, health worker. Nurse, health worker. Is this a disagreement?
No, it's not a disagreement.
It's just a dispute bordering on what? Language, the term. So if one of us tells the other that, but nurse is the same as health worker, the two of us will say, okay. Case that. And resolve it by stipulating a definition. Remember the types of definition. We can agree. When I say that nurse and health worker, they are the same. She's a Fanti. No, she's an Akan. She's Fanti. She's not Fanti, she's Akan. She's Fanti, Akan. Fanti, Akan. The people want to pull knives and fight. You come and you say, oh, my brother, Fantis belong to the set called Akan. So if someone says she's Fanti and the other person says she's Akan, you people are not even disagreeing in the first place. Why? Because the issue is not about viewpoint. When I say viewpoint, it's not about your values. If I say wearing earring is good, and you say no, wearing earrings is bad, we are not disagreeing about facts or language. This has become a value-oriented disagreement. It is what I think should be, not what is the case, but what should be. So we are disagreeing on value judgment. If that disagreement comes in, we may never be able to resolve it. That is called substantive disagreement. But where the disagreement or the dispute is about the meanings of terms, inconsistency, the use of terms, that's what you read in the text. Then we say we can resolve it by stipulative definition. And that is what? A verbal dispute. So when I get, it's Echulu. Echulu is the red version, red in Ga. If you want to say the word red in Ga, it's Echulu. Koko is what? Red in Asante. So you come and say, the driver is wearing red. Then I say, no, Echulu. Koko, red, Echulu. 3 people. They say, it's not Koko, it's Echulu. Hey, red, red, Koko, Echulu. Red, Koko, Echulu. Is this a disagreement? My dear, it is a dispute.
No.
It's a verbal dispute. Verb, language, is from the language. So someone should tell the 3 of us that, look, Koko is another name, Echu, which is another name for red. Period. We will all say, and go home. Shake hands. We mean, yeah, we shake hands and kiss that. But if I say what he is wearing, what example, is beautiful, then I say, no, what he's wearing isn't beautiful. Or better, let's use something in the textbook. So perching is illegal. Or we have quite some good examples in the textbook that we could rely on. She's not a real Christian because she does not speak in tongues. That is in your textbook. Under substantive disagreement. She's not a real Christian because she does not speak in tongues. See the word real comes in, or a prescription, a value judgment showed comes in. So look out for that. Then the other person says, no, I think she's a real Christian because she was baptized into Methodist. First person, she's not a real Christian because she doesn't do katabaha, shatarabaha. No, she doesn't do that. So she's not a real Christian. She doesn't speak in tongues. The second person says, I think she's really a Christian because she was baptized. Is this issue a factual one? No. It is not about the language. It's about what one group thinks should be the definition of Christian. And the other one view of what should be a Christian. So it's a value-oriented disagreement. It's a substantive. You can't take one person's word and say this one is wrong. It is this one that is correct. You can't. You can't easily stipulate meanings. So we may never be able to resolve it. This is where you use argument to present your view and show why yours should be better than the other. But the person may choose to be convinced or not to be convinced. Look at how many denominations of churches we have. Jide Koko, Jide Tuntu, Ifiada, Ejuada, Adventist, Charismatic, Pentecostal, Orthodox. We are all looking at the same Bible. Look at the different viewpoints. And each one, pay tithe, don't pay tithe, animal sacrifice. But there are several things. They're all looking, but they interpret it differently. So the disagreements here are substantive. Look at the political property owning. So I'm saying that where it is just a purely factual matter that if we all observe, we can ascertain, or especially meanings. Let's use meanings so that you don't get confused. Because as it advances, some factual issues have value judgments attached to it. But where it is purely the language, if you corrected the language, the two can agree on it, and we can stipulate, like the ones I gave with what mango versus fruit. Mango is a fruit, a subset of fruit, so we shouldn't disagree on it. We can easily resolve it by appealing to a stipulative definition. We call that what? Verbal dispute. Where it is about our value judgment, we may never be able to resolve it. We use arguments to help clarify it. Very good question, Kelvin. And your colleagues will really benefit from that. Please, is it clear now? Stay.
Yes, Doc.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Doc, please.
Okay. Now I'll take Lady Maud. Maud, please go ahead.
Good morning, Doc.
Morning. Take.
Please, before I ask my question about what Kelvin said, verbal disputes means saying the same thing differently, which means there is no disagreement. So chieftaincy disputes and land disputes, are they also not disagreements? Are they also the same thing, just being said differently?
Okay, so we need to see the statement that we are dealing with, not actually the institutions. But if you put a statement down, remember the logician is just looking at statements that have been put down. So what did the disputant say? The people that are engaging in the back and forth, what have they said? That is what we are interrogating. The institutions engaging in any matter. We see that. So it is statements that we are looking at. So if the chief said so and so and so, and the other person said so and so and so, then we will use that to do our assessment to determine whether the dispute is an actual dispute. Excuse me, sorry. I want to take, I'm sorry. Whether it was actually a dispute or just a substantive disagreement. Okay, so I'm saying that we are looking at the language, we are not looking at the personalities engaging. What did they say? You go ahead with that other person.
Thank you. Okay, so I read that declaratives are either true or false, which means they are truth bearers or they have a truth value.
Excellent.
Why are they not called truth or false bearers, but just truth bearers?
Because truth okay, so let me just say it straightforward. Truth captures both aspects. It's like gender. When you say truth, you are talking about ability to be true or false, with the value of truth. The value may be positive or the value of truth may be negative. If the value of truth is positive, then it is true. If the value of truth is negative, then it will be false. So having the capacity to be either true or false just means having a truth value, T-R-U-T-H, not a true value, T-R-U-E. No, truth. It just means you are capable, you are able to be a head or a tail. Look at the coin, this side or that side, but it is one, truth. So truth value just means the ability to be either true. Can I respond true or false to it? Yes, then it is a truth value. Today is Friday, true. Today is Friday, false. Because of that, then it has the ability to be true or false. So we say it is a truth bearer. It bears truth. That truth it is bearing could be a positive one or a negative one. Very important clarification.
Okay, thank you. And also, if interrogatives are not truth bearers or have no truth value,
yes,
which means they are neither true or false.
Yes, you can't respond true or false to it. Yes.
Why then are we asked true or false questions?
No, it's not the response you give. It is the expression itself. So if I say, where is your mother? That is a question. The expression, where is your mother? If I say, where is your mother, my dear Maud, will you say true? Exactly. So we are interrogating the expression, not your response to it. I think I reacted to that one gift here. So it's not the response you give to it, but the sentence itself. Which type of sentence is it? And I said that you see, Ghanaians there, we have that tendency. I can speak for Ghanaians. When you say, where is your mother? Then she's going to call her mother. Oh, mommy, where? Ma! Auntie, I didn't say call your mother. I said, where is your mother? You don't say true or false to that. How old are you? We don't say true or false. Stand up. We don't say true or false. So all the other type of linguistic expression, you see that they don't have the ability to be either true or false. It is only statements that can be true or false. And there are three types. Factual statement, value judgment, and definition.
Yes.
Is it clear now?
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
You think again and come if you have another set of questions. I'll take Precious now. Precious, go ahead with your question.
Good morning, Doc.
Good morning. And yeah.
Please, my question is on the problems with definitions.
Excellent. Ask me.
Okay. I understand the broad, narrow, and the circular, but could you please throw more light on the vague?
Okay, so the vague, like its name, it's vague. And the reason is, normally, when people use language figuratively, figure of speech, okay, figuratively means you don't use language literally. If I say, our lecturer is, so Nancy is a gem, or better still, let's use something so that I want you to understand that. Kofi is a gem, like I have said earlier. You would think that I'm giving you the meaning of Kofi. If I say religion, the one in the textbook, religion is the opium of the masses. You would think I'm defining religion. I'm giving you a meaning to what religion is. Opium is something you take in, tramol, sedative, something you take in. So you forget your problem. That's what people think. But you wake up and the problem is still sitting there waiting for you. Okay. So I'm just saying that the person who was defining religion that way was actually casting, a spare on those who believe in religious things. Okay, sort of. So the person says, people do, God will provide, oh God, our help, all because they want to forget their problems. They take it in to forget their problems. But they will wake up to realize that their problem still exists. They will wake up to realize that the problem still exists. Open the door, please keep it open so that the up and down will be. Okay, I'm sorry. So people, according to the person defined, supposedly defining religion there, is using language figuratively, figure of speech. Religion is the opium of the masses. How do you know that there's a figure of speech? Because you can't take religion and put it in your mouth and drink water. Like those who do. You can't snip religion. So it can become like opium. That helps you get this sort of. So the person is not defining religion literally. The person is being symbolic, idiomatic. What's the other word? Proverbial. Anytime someone is trying to give meaning, but that's so symbolically, we will criticize the person as what? Being vague, indeterminate, imprecise, not clear. The person is saying something that can have several meanings to it. That's one clue. So the key word is when you are indeterminate in how you are giving the meaning, not that you have clearly defined, but it's too broad. And I've explained broadness. You have included several other denotations that shouldn't be there. Now I'm using the text. You have to have engaged the lecture. You have included so many other things that don't legitimately belong there. And we say your definition is too broad. If I say a dog is a four-legged animal, I'm telling you that if you don't know a dog, look at any four-legged. You know what that means. When you see a papon, as I told your friends yesterday, goat, you say, there comes a dog. If you see a cattle, you will call it a dog. Everything with four legs will be included because of how you define dog. So we say such a definition, which one? A dog is a four-legged animal. It's too broad. It has included too many illegitimate members. That is what makes it broad. But it was so clear, it was precise. That's why you could tell that some other members have been brought in. So it's not vague. It is very clear. The problem with it is broad. The challenge, where we call the sickness what too narrow, is when I say that, I use that example, so let me use it again. Philosophy is the study of the works of Plato. That one too, I'm saying if you don't know philosophy, look at the works of Plato. We see that one, you have narrowed it. It's very clear. The definition is clear. So you can't say it's vague. But the problem is you have left out legitimate members. That one you say you understand. Then secularity is you just repeated the other one. Another name for secularity or secular definition is what? Tautology. There's a Latin expression for that. Let me bore you with it. Petitio principii. Okay, if you see it somewhere, petitio principii. But I don't think anyone wants to ask you that. I see your test. All of those labels is describing just one type of error in our definitions, where you are repeating the definiendum in the definiens. Hey, what did this woman just say? Definiendum. Yes, I have already told you that in the lecture. It is your textbook too. It is the unknown word that we are defining. So when you repeat that in your definiens, you will say you have committed a secular crime of secularity. So now, with this clarity, you should see which ones we call vague. As for vague, you are using language either symbolically, metaphorically, idiomatically, etc. Or you are using phrases that admit of several meanings. They all apply. The lecturer will start the session any moment from now. If you come and have written that in front of my table or my office, they are coming in, and you ask what time will the lecturer come in? Then the secretary tells you, she says she will come in any moment from now. Do you realize that that is vague?
Yeah.
Is it at the time that the lecturer called that you are saying any moment from now? Or at the time that the secretary is telling you? Or at the time that you are telling your colleagues? What is the now in this phrase? Jesus is coming soon. It's vague. Intentionally vague. You think God is not smart? He will come soon. Soon. At the time John the Baptist was saying it was soon, and it is still soon. So when someone tells you, please come for your passport soon, say respectfully, can you clarify what you mean? What you mean by soon? Because soon can be 3 years. Any moment from now can be 10 years, because it is still a moment from now. It can be the next minute, it can be 3 years from now. It's vague. A critical mind cannot take that. You go and negotiate for our nation as a policy maker, then they tell you, we'll start bringing you the money you have signed for any moment from. And you take it and come home, and 3 years, that's can't buy. You're going to sell us out like that. Critical thinking. It is vague. It's not clear. Why? Because the person is using an expression that needs to be found out or specified. So apart from using symbolic language and what have you that I have prompted you about, you should also look out for such. Anybody who is not getting a job, that's also in your textbook. Any graduate who is not getting a job to do is not looking hard enough. Any graduate who is not getting a job to do is not looking hard enough. You want to accept that? What does it mean to look hard enough? To go and stand at where the advert is. Look at it hard. Is that what they mean? They should clarify, put substance, content to it. Let me know what you mean by looking hard enough, so that I can do that and get a job. Because I'm not getting a job to do. They're telling me I should look hard enough. That expression, looking hard enough, that you put there, makes the whole given expression big, not clear, imprecise, blurred. I think that I help Precious. Okay.
Madam, I have another question as well.
Okay, Madam, I won't take it.
Doc, please, I have another question as well.
This morning, a student called, give me a commercial break. Let me chat. A student called me this morning. Why is it that you people are not giving us clarity about the timetable and everything? So I must start you. It wasn't even 7 o'clock yet. Hey, I'm a mother of 4. Office hours, grand 30. You don't even have the contact of many lecturers for such posture, because I have more than 2,000 students currently, not plus the past one. So if everybody wakes up 7 o'clock, grand boy, I'm a wife. You don't want me to do my maternal responsibilities, Auntie Adwa. But I have given the number because sometimes the issues are prompt. So the students just want to hear it quick and move. And I don't discriminate. So the least you can do, even if you were calling your colleague, is hello, good morning. How is your? Okay, I have a little issue. Is it possible to speak now? Because you're not dying. It's not an emergency that you are falling into a pit. None of those. Call no. Hey, excuse me. Why is it that you people are not even uploading the names, madam? You know that I'm talking to Dr. Nancy Malbra. Oh, doc. Good morning, Doc. Nancy. Doc, they open on Ghana. Coat. And mention that one. If you call me mommy, I won't respond to you. When we go to church, you can call me mommy, I'll respond. When you see me outside, we can chat. But formally, if you don't call me doctor, be brave, Papa. Okay, we are pretending from the commercial below. Okay. What was your question again, my dear? Go ahead.
Doc, please. There is a soft copy of a book on critical thinking circulating our WhatsApp platforms, and I want to find out from you whether such a thing has been released.
It's an illegality.
Okay.
And I always caution students, when we do that, it is just like the way people plagiarize people's CDs. People do, some of them are even not authentic. Some are work in progress that got leaked. But most importantly, respect copyright. Because if you do that, people won't even generate new ideas. Ghana, that is one of our challenges. Someone struggles to create and write down, and is selling it with all this important information at 30 cities. Even the publishing, the book, if you do photocopy, how much do you pay for it? Then people will now go and take it and make it a soft copy and share freely. So who will ever create? So it doesn't have the backing of the investor. So I don't want to even pretend to know about it, because I'm supposed to hold you right now and tell you that go and show me the platform so we catch the person and arrest. Okay. It is not authorized. That's my response. The rest, I won't say anything about it. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Like what people do to faculty, even for their regular courses. And Gifty is here, so she can bear me out. At least for our course, philosophy, we're able to put somehow, a regulation on it. You can't do for everyone, but I can regulate it. When you give course outline, then someone, sometimes not even a student, you don't know the person, they'll take the course outline. They'll pull out those resources, sometimes books somewhere, maybe the book is only one. They'll pull it from run copies of those, which is okay, so far as there's a sanction, it has been sanctioned. But then they will go and cost it. And to you, the lecturer, you don't know anything about it. Sometimes TAs don't even know anything about it. But some photocopier is sitting somewhere, is selling the book. That should, at most, maybe cost for the copy square, should cost just 10 cedis. The person might be saying 40 Ghana, 50 Ghana. And there is a book there. Come, write your name, ID, sign here. The lecturer says if you don't, you won't get an A in the course. So the per one person, that photocopier, or sometimes not even the copier, some personality be somewhere, is getting 40 cedis from a student. For content that you, the lecturer, you are killing your head to help them understand. And it's telling them that if they don't sign for it, they won't pass the course. So you don't know anything about it, but your name is attached to it. And they are exploiting the student. And if you have 1,000 students, and each one gives the photocopier 40 Ghana, work the math, then you will be called to police. So for this semester, I told my student, and it is on record, if you want a compiled version, but if you want it, come to my office. My TAs will be here. I have negotiated it so that the price is not an exploitation of my students. They need the content, so they will be exploited if you don't help them. But it is here. Even critical thinking, the books are here. We don't get anything as a department. We go and just pull them from the bookshop, because people may struggle finding the bookshop. We have to give them, bring it to our department. Not even one person, not even transport for it. We're talking about ideas. So when you come here, you are coming to make your inquiry, then you see, hey, there is a book, this book is here. Yes, go there, they will sell it to 30 cities, just like it should have been sold to you at the bookshop. Period. Critical ed, the other calls to the same thing. Come here, get it. So you are not exploited. No one is using the lecturer's name. But if the student doesn't listen and go somewhere and they are exploited, I don't care. 2, you cannot blame a TA here, because I have the list of those who came here to pick from here, etc. So my dear, that is just to react to the question you asked, and it will be beneficial to you just in the 400. Otherwise, it will go on and on and on all the way to 400. It doesn't have our backing. Some of the content was still being produced, so you will see that it has been edited in the original text. Like essentially contestable, for example, in that thing that is going on, you will see essentially incontestable, totally opposite to what open class concepts are versus the other one. But maybe you will see some other ones that are just a repetition. After all, our videos are online. People can access lecturers and student or non-student. So it's not a concern about accessing the thing. It is the thing about disrespecting copyright that is quite stressful. Actually. All right. I still see Precious' hand up. I will take it, please. Unless she's sort of, okay, Precious' hand just went down. Do we have any other question, please? Kelvin Kwanz's hand just shut up. Kelvin, go ahead.
No.
please, about the types of definition.
Yes.
I wanted to throw light on the real definition.
Yes, okay. Real definitions do what all definitions should do. If I'm giving you the meaning of something and you are really defining, then wherever I see the definiendum, it must mean the definient. And wherever I see the definient, it must mean the definiendum. I'm speaking straightforward English so that you can capture it. So if I say a bachelor is an unmarried adult male, then wherever I see the word bachelor, it should mean an unmarried adult male. But the reason why this definition will not be a real one is that sometimes I'll see the word bachelor and it doesn't mean an unmarried adult male. For example, if I say I'm going to get my bachelor's in the university, I've enrolled into a university program to get a bachelor's. I'm not saying I'm going for an unmarried man's degree. You see that? So the word bachelor, defined as an unmarried adult male, is not a real definition. Why? Because we cannot eliminate the definiendum and the definiens. You see, in other words, you can't do a substitution of the definiendum and the definiens in all contexts. Sometimes bachelor could mean an unmarried adult male. Sometimes it can't mean that. You see the other names of a real definition: essential definition, eliminative definition, ideal definition, real definition. Wherever you see any of these four, they are referring to the same thing. When we say ideally, we shouldn't do X or Y or Z. It tells you that it's not common at all. Ideal men are not common. Ideal ladies who want to marry. I'm looking for the ideal guy. Ideal? Ideal. They are dead and gone. Some two are yet to be born. Enoch, was an ideal man. Abraham, Joseph. They are dead and gone. In other words, it's some kind of almost perfect definition. We describe it also as eliminative because you take out the definitions and put in the definiendum, meaning don't change. It doesn't change. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. It's a real definition. Or 5 is equal to 2 plus 3. It's a real definition. Wherever I see 5, I can put 2 plus 3 there. Meaning won't change. Whether I'm doing, when I say the meaning won't change, in mathematics, the meaning won't change. But look at family. I said all of that in the previous discussion time. Family. Yes.
You can a well-defined term. The well-defined terms is the same as real definition.
If a definition is real, it is real only because the term you are dealing with can be defined well. You can have a criteria, unambiguous criteria for defining that. So you see the overlap.
Yes.
If a term can be well defined, then its definition will be real or ideal or essential.
Okay. Okay.
Very good. So those who don't understand, kindly get to, yes, thank you very much. Get to the text and see how it overlaps. If a term is well defined, so that we have a well-defined definition, you see that it clearly outlines the criteria, the meaning, the definition. There's no ambiguity about what the particular instances. You can name all its denotations without any confusion. If I define a bachelor as a bachelor right now, the meaning of bachelor, when I start counting Kofi, Kwame, what have you, before long, you see me including certificate, degree, what have you, because bachelor could mean, could refer to as certificate. The next minute, it is referring to human beings, males that are married. The next minute, it will be pointing to something else. So it means the term bachelor doesn't have a well, excuse me, people. Are you sorted? Where's the book? You just came to write down in here, leaving. Excuse me, people. Do the needful. If you are picking a book, pick it. People, so I'm just saying that if it is real, it only means it can have a well-defined meaning. Okay. Let's see if there is any other question, please. Okay, so I still see Kelvin's hand up. Kelvin, do you still have a question, please? You have some few minutes to go, then I'll move into my next lecture.
Madam, during our previous meeting,
yes, sir.
You said you would elaborate on detecting equivocation.
Yes. So when are we being equivocal? Equivocation means, I think I've touched on that in one of the recorded sessions I've uploaded. So this will be a repetition that doesn't hurt. Let us add it. When you are equivocal, it just means you are using the different meanings of one word in the same context without signaling your listeners that I have shifted from the first meaning of that word to the second meaning of that same word. You make it look as if the word has only one meaning, but you are moving from different meanings of that word, different connotations of that word. Then we say you're being equivocal. Let me give you an example, then we'll come back to the explanation. I told your friends, and it is an example that I laugh over. You are an applicant, you want to enter into a certain corporate entity. They've advertised a position. So you go, you want to be the receptionist there. Then the one interviewing you, your boss says, look, in this our institution, this our hotel, if we want to take you in as our receptionist, then we are looking for someone who is responsible. No, then sister, it's Kelvin who asked the question. And Kelvin said, oh, then hold on, say, then it's me. Because me, the previous place that I was, before they sacked me, whenever something gets missing, they said, I am responsible. Kelvin, did you get my drift? The boss says, we are looking for a responsible person to fill that post. And he said, oh, then I'm the one you are looking for. Because whenever, the place I was before I came in, whenever something gets missing, they will say, I am responsible. I get it. Now you see that we are both using the word responsible. But what the boss means by responsible is not what Kelvin is reacting to, not you, the Kelvin in my story. He's thinking of another meaning of the word responsible. And he's thinking that we should use that in the same way as we have used this. Now that is being equivocal. So when you shift from one meaning of the word, Peter once said, and it's also another fine example I get from the slides of my colleagues. It says that children are a real headache. One pill of paracetamol will take care of every headache. Therefore, one pill of paracetamol will take care of children. Can you see the equivocation there? Please, you see it. I'm using the word headache first as pain in my head like this. That is what para can take care of. But when I say children are a headache in that same context, it doesn't mean children are a pain inside my head. Children worry. Children can stress you out. So the meaning of headache as para, as a pain in the head that para can take care of, it's not the same as headache as the one that I'm describing children as. So I am switching different meanings of headache. So you see, I've used the word headache more than once. And in one context, I meant headache as something. In the second context, I meant headache as another. So the word is the same, but the meanings are different. Yes, I'm using both meanings in that same context. That is what equivocation is. It's a crime, it's an error of reasoning. And so that now to the example I put in my slide, my video, I said, why are women always complaining that they are not as free as men are? After all, we live in a free country. People can freely do what they want in Ghana. Well, that is equivocation, big time. 3 different connotations of the word free being used at the same time. Ghana is a free country. What I mean by Ghana is a free country, the meaning of free that I'm using there, it's not the same as saying that everybody is free to do what they like in Ghana. This second meaning of free is not the same as Ghana is a free country. Share. You have to do what you like. If you like, when you enter exam hall, get up, while they say start work, and go and stand by your friend and look on his paper. You will know whether you are free or not. How about the prisoners? Are they free to do what they like? I don't know in Ghana. So even though Ghana is a free country, this meaning of free country, where people can set up their businesses so far as they are working within the framework of the law, Ghana is a free country. There are certain places you can do certain things. So we think of that state as not being a free country in that sense. So Ghana is a free country, no doubt about that. And we thank God for blessing us like that. Yet, you can't think of that free country to mean that people freely choose to do what they like. Come and slap me and let's see. So even though it's a free country, it's not that free. So this is a different connotation of the word free. Then the first one that I use, women like complaining that they are not as free as men. Why? They should stop talking and do it. When you and the woman together, your wife, so legitimate, got busy that night and she got pregnant. Did you carry the baby like she did? You menstruate. Apologies, my fine brothers. Maybe I should take that. Can I edit it out? Do you do that at the end of the month like women do? It's a natural thing that they don't have control over. In fact, if they don't do it, there's trouble, big time trouble. So someone can be in that mood and it can affect her exams. It can affect her ability to feel confident to enter where people are. Because she feels that when she gets up, there might be a smear or blah, blah, blah. So you should admit that when it comes to a certain connotation of freedom, women don't have it as men do, especially even the cultural ones. For certain contexts, it's not only cultural, it's religious. I went to a certain religious setting. And even where I went to sit, because I'm something at church, that entitles me to sit somewhere. So they took me there because it was my church person that was going to marry. So because of the role I play in the church, I'm identified in my church as someone who should sit, whatever. This sitting and up, sitting and down, sitting. Okay? So they sat me where pastors sit. Can you imagine that the MC stopped doing what he was? They was looking at, it's as if the Holy Spirit has suspended because I went to sit there as a woman. Because for that denomination, also look into the Bible. If you're a woman, become pastor. And even if you're not pastoring, you can't sit where pastors are sitting. As soon as you sit there, the Holy Spirit will stop. You interrupt the connectivity of the Holy Spirit. So they stopped the wedding and asked someone to come and move me. I didn't go and sit there by myself. Move me to go and sit among the women, the wives of the pastor. It means for that denomination, pastors can lead. It's a woman, just because you're a woman. Excuse me, women can lead or can't sit in the place of pastor. Even when you are doing a public function that invites other people, so they don't necessarily share your faith. I was moved. Almost embarrassingly. But I'm showing you, are women as free as men? Even religiously, for certain contexts. So when someone is making that argument and is confusing different connotations of the word freedom, you have to point it out to that person. Say, you are confusing freedom as the ability to do from freedom as a restricted liberty. Freedom as what? Liberty, where you work within a certain framework, with freedom as in natural capacity or capability. Do you see that? But the person put all of them together. So the one in the textbook that I referred you to, talking about law. Okay. Also, the person is being equivocal about the use of law. Law as civil law. It's not the same as law as criminal law. It's not the same as statutory law, constitutional law, moral one. I like when, ban on drumming and dancing and noise making. It's not the same as breaking the law by scratching your fellow lady's face whilst you were afraid. That's civil. You can pull it out of court. But when you go and rape your daughter, that connotation of law is not the same as you and I were having exchanges and then I slap you and slap me. We can go and tell the police people that if we want to go and settle it off the court, they will let you go. But if you rape your daughter, it is a bentum against the state, not you and your family matter, because the girl's situation is no longer subject to you. Now you have hit the collective entity called the state. So you can confuse legal law as in criminal with what? Law as in moral. If you wear a swimsuit to the lecture, what can we do to you? We only use our eyebrows. We can arrest you and put handcuff on your hand. What have we done? But we can do, you know, the spiritual people. They can blow tongues on you. But we can't arrest you because it is a different connotation of the word law. And that word has been convoluted, different versions. And when people are speaking, they put all together. So they are confusing moral laws with legal laws. If you don't pay tithe, the policeman will arrest you. Basically. You see, so that kind of law is not like mathematical law. 2 + 3 = 5. Neither is it equal to you should do the customary right before you marry my daughter. You didn't do it because in your tribe or your ethnic group, they don't do that. And then the girl dies, you haven't married, and she's pregnant. They will let you marry the corpse. That's customary. It might not be national, it might not be constitutional, it might not be criminal, it might not be civil, it may just be a customary one, etc. So that Unit 5, which we will engage later, gives you some good instances of different connotations of the word law. And when people go to the law courts or people are engaging, they often confuse all those. So it masks the debate. You can't clearly outline, because I may not agree with you in your religion. Okay. So you can use that to see why the LGBTQ something has become difficult to talk about. Because are we talking the legality of it or the morality of it? When I say legality, I didn't help. Are we talking the constitutionality of it? The natural, people say it's my natural self. Why? I choose what I want to do with my body. But what about the cultural norms, which are also another connotation of the word law? You want to go and do it around which place? You want to go and do something around, say, religion, Islamic contest. What do you mean? You want to go and sell pork at the mosque? What are you doing? Because it is allowed. Perhaps you are allowed to set up your business. Have you forgotten where you are standing? Culturally, morally. If you want to wear swimsuit, go to the beach. We will clap for you, because if someone wears kaba and slit and enters the swimming pool, we will all be shocked. What kind of holiness, stupid holiness is that? But if you wear a swimsuit, bikini, and come and sit in front of the seat, the church, then we will say you are crossing. You don't understand. And crossing here, not to mean that you come from Ukraine, we all do. But crossing as you don't understand the system. Don't wear tennis dresses to lecture, and don't wear lecture clothing to the tennis court. I think I made the point, and I have to enter the next session now. They are waiting. They won't know that I'm in another session. They will think this lady won't come. She wants to be late 5 minutes. We even have the time to do that. No. So let me end here. If you still have further and better particulars, you let me know. I think we did some good substance in this one also. So I'll upload it well labeled as UGRC 150 interactive time. Then you can use that to augment your discussion of the Unit 3. I hope to do the videos on that also and upload. Later on, I'll top up with all the other videos. Your first assessment will be open by Monday. And then we will prepare you for Unit 5 and 6. Look out for the uploaded video. Subscribe. It will help you. When you see the prompt, you determine whether you have use for it or not. But always check your supply for updates. I wish you well a wonderful weekend and a blessed week. All the best.